Hi friends, welcome back to Texas Family Life. My name is Kristy. I am a mom of 5 and I'm pregnant with these twins. I'm 37 weeks this week and so I'm due very soon. Twins come early according to many people and that's not always the case. There are many twin mamas that make it to 40 weeks. But the time is drawing near regardless of if I have them at 38 weeks or 40 weeks. And so I'm really excited to share this video with y'all. So in this video, I want to show y'all what a home birth is going to look like for me, what I have prepared for this home birth, and kind of talk to y'all about what is brought to a home birth from the midwives. As far as I can remember, of course, when the midwives come, it's hard to remember like what they're doing because I'm in labor typically. And so I'm going to show y'all all that I have set up, why I have it, and just kind of the gist of how a home birth goes and why things go the way they do. There's going to be some birth language in this video, just like, you know, placenta and stuff like that. And so if you are not interested in stuff like that, that's totally okay. Please click away while you still can and go find one of my grocery hauls or one of my recipe videos. I have a lot of those. I'll link them below and find something fun to go make while I talk about these things. Okay, so I showed y'all I have a birth box, and this is going to be stuff that my midwife has asked me to have on hand. So your midwife can send you over a list of things that they would like there at the home birth. Now they bring their own separate kit. This has nothing to do with what they bring, but these are little things that like they don't want to be toting around. Like they have, you know, mama diapers and pads and Chucks pads, which are like the big rectangles that are like super absorbent and things like that. So I'm going to show you what we have here and explain things a little bit. And it's just kind of interesting because it's a lot of, you know, what a hospital would have on hand. And it's different, so I'm going to show you. All right, so I got the box right in front of me, and I showed y'all a little bit what's in it, but I'm going to show you a little bit more in depth. So first thing, like I said, is a pack of Chucks pads. I have like 30 from my last home birth. So that was one of the wonderful things about this is I'm not wasting money, my midwife isn't wasting money, and we're not wasting products because I already had a bunch from last time. I didn't have the need for Chucks pads. Baby came fast and I didn't have a lot of extra bleeding, so I really didn't need them. But so this has 5 in it, and then I've got a bunch more. I probably got 7 or 8 more. So once again, these just kind of pull out. I'll show y'all one. And these, like when you're in the hospital bed, they just lay them down underneath you to catch anything, which is good and wonderful. And then, you know, you can go through as many as you need to. So that's what we have there. Another thing is these undies. I don't love these. They're, yeah, not cute. And they're not super duper comfortable, but they're easy to get on and off, which I think is a big deal. So these you can stick in like a giant pad to catch any extra bleeding, because after you have a baby, you tend to bleed for a little bit heavy for a week, and then it starts tapering off a little bit, but you're still bleeding for anywhere from like 2 weeks to a month or more. Every woman is different. About 30 packs of gloves. These are all, you know, completely sanitary. They're not opened, and so that's what makes them useful. But I've got tons of these. We are having 3 midwives come to assist. There's going to be a midwife for each person. So a midwife for me, a midwife for baby A, and a midwife for baby B. And this is helpful because if for some horrible reason all of us are having issues, there's no like midwife, I need you, like pay attention to the baby, but this other baby's not doing well and mom's not doing well. Like there's somebody for everybody to care for, which is so ideal and so reassuring. So I've got a lot of those gloves. I've got a nose sucker, a spit sucker for the babies. We've got 2 of them actually. So these syringes are good to get any extra fluid out of the baby's mouth, out of its nose, like right when it's born. They do this at the hospital. They go in and they suck out real quick to make sure that they don't inhale any liquid that's left from being born. So you've got 2 of these. They did give me a Perry bottle, but I was also gifted 2 more Perry bottles that are very fancy. But these ladies, if you've never had a baby or you're about to have a baby, lifesaver. You put warm water in it. You can put some witch hazel in it. And then while you're going to the bathroom for the first few days, you just squirt warm water down there and it makes it better. Otherwise, it can really burn, but you just like saturate while you go potty and it makes it feel so much better because you just birthed the baby. You're going to have some little paper cut feels, and seriously, this makes a difference. 100% recommend these. And this again is something that a hospital carries. And again, that I have a fancier one. It's Frida Mama. And it goes like at an angle. So I guess you don't have to like, I don't know, but still got one. Got some iodine. So iodine helps reduce bacteria that can be introduced in the skin. So they've never had to use this on me on my home births, but if they had to cut, they would just, I think, put this on before and then go ahead and cut me. Last resort kind of thing. It's not necessary. This is from last time, but it expires summer next year. So they didn't use it last time, and I doubt they're going to use it this time. So many things. A surgical scrub brush. It's got the sponge and the scrub brush on it. They have these in the hospital to like scrub your fingers and stuff like that to get ready to handle the baby. So this is for the midwives. We've got some alcohol pads in here. And so those are good to just make everything sterile. And then I also have cord, what are they called? Some cord kind of clamps, but not clamps, but they're very, very similar. So this wraps around the baby's cord to stop the flow when it's time, and it just slides on. You just slip it on and it stops the flow. And then another thing that the medical team brings that I don't have on hand, well, I do have on hand actually, but I don't have it out, but clamps, like actual, I don't know the real name for it, but they're like not scissors, but they clamp down and then they clamp on and keep from no more blood going through the cord. So I've got, actually went ahead and got 3 of these. I only needed 2, I believe. But I figured baby A came out and they could put 1 on, and baby B came out, they could put 2 on, just to kind of keep track of which baby's which at the beginning. We don't know the sex of our twins, so if they come out the same sex, then it'll be hard to tell them apart. So that'll be handy. I'm leaning towards boy and girl, so we'll see what happens. But if they're not boy and girl, then it'll be nice to know. I got some more gauze sponges. This is just to help like with bleeding and to get things a little bit more under control. And I've got like 100 diapers. So different size diapers, like ones that are giant. I think I loved these ones last time, but I'm not going to open it. But it's very big and it covers like the whole area of the underwear so that when you're bleeding, you're not making a mess of your bed or your clothes or anything like that. Because the last thing you want when you have newborns is to be nursing and having like night sweats and then leaking through everything with some blood. So that's not a fun thing to have to clean up in the middle of the night. So that's about it that's in like my ugly birth box. This is the stuff that's just like, it's in a box. The midwives will look through it and find what they need and go from there. And that's where I keep that. Now I've got another list of things that the midwife asked me to have on hand, and I'll show you all that stuff. Okay, so first things, I have some hydrogen peroxide. This is to help get any blood out of sheets or anything that, I don't know what hydrogen peroxide is, but to get out of sheets and stuff like that quickly. So I have that on hand just for bleeding. I got this thermometer for my baby shower, and it is so fancy. So a thermometer on hand for babies and even for me, but press this side button. My husband was doing it. This is also Frida brand, which I'm not super sure how I feel about, but it's super cool. So, and it lights up real bright. So nighttime I can use it and use it for the babies if I need to. So that was another thing that was asked. I've got a bunch of trash bags here. That'll help with any soiled linens or soiled Chucks pads or anything like that. I got about 6 here. She asked for those to be on hand. I got some gallon baggies on here. I don't think she asked for these, but I've had them at my births, and they're great to put, you know, a placenta in or whatever you need. Towels for babies. These guys, you can hear. It's so crunchy because our dryer still doesn't work. So my husband's going to bring this over to the neighbors soon and have him dry it and make them soft for babies. Washcloths. These are for warm compresses. When I'm pushing baby out, it really helps to have like a hot compress in that area to keep you from tearing. I enjoy that. I think that's a really great idea. So these are just ugly used washcloths we had on hand. A baking pan, which seems funny, but my midwife lays all her tools on it. So she brings, you know, a sterile cloth, and then she lays her clamps and anything she needs for the babies, probably the Pitocin and just everything, so she can grab it real quick and be done. I'll give you 5 points if you know what the shower curtain's for. I remember reading this and being like, that's weird the first time, but the shower curtain is for the bed. You'll see that in my video if I'm able to record having these babies. You lay it on your bed underneath a bed sheet that you don't really care about or one that's not your go-to. And so that way, after babies are born, if you happen to labor in the bed and get the bed messy, you just strip off the top layer and take this, throw it away. This was $3. And then your bed is made, like you keep the bed made underneath it. So your bed's ready to go to get cozy up with the babies. And it's just a dream. Such a good idea. And you could use like any kind of plastic, I'm sure, but this is what we use. A few more towels on hand just to have for extra. The extra towels are good for if I decide to get in the bathtub while having these babies, while I'm laboring or whatever, or just anything extra. Sometimes you need towels. I don't know. Sometimes there's a mess. So it's good to have those on hand. And yeah, we are excited. That's about it that I can think of. I have a postpartum section set up next to my toilet. But maybe I'll show you all those later. It's not that exciting. So another thing that I have that is unconventional for a home birth, that I've never had in the past is a peanut ball. And my friend gifted it to me. And she said that the hospital gave it to her and told her to keep it. And I was like, heck yeah. So a peanut ball is shaped like a peanut. This is great when you're in labor and you're not really dilating. You can lay on your side and put this between your legs, and it actually really, really, really helps. So this is an exciting thing to have just in case. I did use pillows last time I was in labor, and so it'll be nice to have this ball. Peanut balls are also good for entertaining little boys. Yeah? Yeah? This ball, this is good for leading up to labor and delivery, and I just like to have it on hand because you can sit on it and bounce on it, and it helps. Not only is it a very comfortable way to sit, but it helps to also loosen everything up and help you to dilate more as well. But this is more pre-labor. And then when I am in labor, last time I was in labor, I like to lean on it, and it feels so good just to like have the weight off my back and off my belly. And so this is an exciting ball that I like to have on hand. I've used it for every birth, not this particular one. This one's smaller than the ones I'm used to. But I like to have a yoga ball on hand to use when I'm in labor. So this is a good one. Just a sports ball. You can get this at any sports store usually just for like exercises. A few more things that are supposed to be on hand for when the babies come is broth for right after baby's born for me to drink just to help me replenish, and a protein drink. What else? And a good couple snacks. I have whole tray of snacks and drinks over here just for like nursing, so that'll be good. But I did show my husband where our broth is in the freezer and asked him to take it out right when I'm starting to go into labor and just stick it in a pot and let it slowly defrost. Okay, so one thing about Texas, which is wonderful that I love, is the midwives are allowed to carry Pitocin. Pitocin is something, and sorry if I'm saying it wrong, it looks like it's spelled Pitocin. The midwives carry Pitocin. This is something that even our ambulance drivers do not carry. Pitocin is sometimes given to women to help start labor, but it is also given to women to help them stop bleeding after babies come out. It helps tell your uterus to start contracting. And a lot of times when women start having extra bleeding, it's because their uterus is not contracting properly or efficiently, or it's just a tired uterus, you know, which I have twins, and a tired uterus could very well be the case. So mine carry that. They carry another medicine called Cytotec, which helps stop bleeding. They carry herbs and things like that, which I think are kind of last resort. But that is something that Texas midwives can carry. And there are many other states that the midwives are not allowed to carry Pitocin, and I think those are more states that are not quite midwife friendly. They encourage mothers to come to the hospital, which I am all for mothers going to the hospital to have their babies if that's what they choose, or if there's dangers and risks to the babies. But for a healthy, safe, uncomplicated pregnancy that hasn't had any issues at all, I think a home birth is a wonderful idea. I have loved my home births. I've had two, and I've had two natural births, completely natural in the hospital, and then I had that one C-section, which was horrible, 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 horrible. So I know C-sections are great for some women too, and they are sometimes a life-saving measure, and sometimes they're not. And for me, it was not. My baby was not in distress. I was not in distress. It was just a let's get this baby out kind of thing, and it was just a terrible experience. And I was a first-time mom, so as a first-time mom, I had a lot less knowledge than I do now as a six-time mom, 6 and 7. So I'm going for this home birth because I feel safe with it. I feel comfortable. Babies are healthy. I'm healthy. And it's what I'm doing. So I'm very excited, and I can't wait to share this journey with y'all. Another thing about midwives is they show up with this pack of things that's just like everything. They have all the little life-saving measures that are needed to at least get you to a hospital, at the very least. They have the breathing bags to help a baby to breathe. My midwife brings her ultrasound machine. It's like on an iPad, but she has, you know, the thing to look for the babies and to check them. They do, midwives can do cervical checks. They can do everything. The only thing they can't do is an emergency C-section, which, you know, you take your risks, but also you take a great risk every day putting your kids in the car and going for a drive, you know, like there's always going to be a risk in life. And so this is one that, you know, you got to do your research, which I have done years and years and years of research, and I've gone through it twice, and it's just something that I am so excited about and so confident with. And yeah, things can go wrong, but things go wrong at the hospital. That is another great thing about midwives is, at least here in Texas, I'm not sure about everywhere else, but they've started a thing where doctors are required to get the placenta out of the mother within a certain amount of time. Now, if the placenta is tugged on and removed from the uterine wall prematurely, then it does cause extra bleeding in the mother, and this can cause hemorrhage. Now, your uterus usually automatically releases from your uterus wall once the hormones are done, like passing to the baby. So that's what would normally happen. Sometimes you do have to take the measures to get the placentas out, because if they are left in too long, then the mother bleeds. It's like bleeding or bleeding. But the midwives are trained in all of this, and it's nice to have someone in the room with you or in, you know, like in the general vicinity. Mine sometimes stay in the living room until, you know, I want them to come in, but they do come check in on me like every so often. Where at the hospital, you're another patient and, you know, they kind of check a box and that's about it. But mine, like, keep an eye on me, especially right after the baby is born. They don't leave the room. They keep an eye on me. They're checking for bleeding. They're checking the babies for all their vital signs that need to be checked. They make sure that I can nurse the baby adequately. And, you know, it's not just like a home birth and then they're like, bye. And then also they come back and check on me the next day, which is wonderful. So midwives are very capable, and that's how people birth babies for thousands of years, you know? So, I don't know, I'll get off my little high horse, but for me, this is what we feel safe doing, and this is what we are so excited to do, and there's just no telling when these babies are gonna come. It's so exciting. But I am so excited, as usual, that y'all have been with me this whole journey, like from the moment that I took that pregnancy test and I was like, I don't know, do you remember? I'll link that video too. I took it and I was like, I kind of see a line. And I remember my husband coming home and like showing him and he's like, I don't see anything. And so then I took another one and it was positive. So y'all have been with me this whole journey and I'm going to carry y'all with me to the very end and then through birthdays and all that stuff. And it's really great to have it all in one place and to have it all documented and to have y'all all with me and praying with me. I would request, please comment below any prayer intentions you may have that I can pray while I'm in labor. I have a plan to have my husband tell me through contractions. It's just an idea. It may not work. I don't know who I am in any labor, but to comment below a prayer intention you have. And so like when I'm going through a contraction, to take my mind off of it and to offer up my suffering for your intentions. So, you know, if you wish to be blessed with a baby or whatever the case may be, like I can be in my contraction, my husband can tell me this prayer is for this person that would like another baby. And so instead of focusing on this hurts, it can be more like I'm offering this up for something. Like it's not for nothing. So please do comment below and let me know if you do have any special prayer intentions. And if you haven't already, please do like and subscribe. And hopefully soon y'all will be seeing a video about babies being born. But until then, we'll keep up with regular life and bring you along with that too. Thank you guys for watching. Bye guys.